If you can do it, do it. No, I sell stock images, but they actually reflect what images should be worth. All right, team, welcome back. So today I want to talk stock imagery and whether it's worth your time or not. So this is a question I get often. People ask, is it worth putting your images on stock imagery sites to sell? And my broad answer is no. If we're talking the main big ones that have diluted the market down to basically nothing. So your Adobe stock, Shutterstock, all the something stocks aren't worth your time. There's no point selling one of your hard-made images for 50 cents. It's literally pointless. Like, yes, it might be passive, but it's very small amounts. They've essentially diluted the stock imagery market down to nothing. So then people say, oh, so you don't do it. And I say, well, no, I do. I sell stock images, but I sell them through a local New Zealand stock image agency. And here's the thing. So here in New Zealand, our culture is a lot different to other countries, and your standard stock imagery just doesn't work for the way that we do things here and the demographic of people and how it operates. And as we all know, a lot of stock images are just very bland and run-of-the-mill. So I work with a company called True Stock here in New Zealand. And what True Stock does is they sell stock images that represent New Zealand and its culture and its people. And that's the differentiator, is it's a local stock image agencies. So it sells images that are relative to what the clients are looking for this country and this area. We've all seen the brands that just go onto stock image websites and buy some images, and it doesn't suit their branding, it doesn't suit what they're doing, it doesn't suit their campaign. That's where True Stock is different, and that's why I am exclusively a contributor to that. Let's quickly jump into the laptop and I'll show you basically what True Stock's all about. So this is True Stock. And as you can see, it looks much like a normal stock image agency website, except you'll see that it's all very much New Zealand images. It's images that companies here in New Zealand are looking for that match our country and our people. So if we quickly jump over here and type my name in, it should come up with me right there. So that's my profile. As you see, I've got 325 images in 6 albums. And I don't shoot anything exclusively for stock. I've done a couple, but I mainly just put all my leftovers and my family stuff in there and whatever I shoot along the way, which isn't client images. I don't use any of my client images as stock images. You'll see different ones I've got, video, different genres, landscape, people, you know, we've got action sports in there. We've got all sorts of random stuff. Like I said, it's just stuff that I have extra left over, all sorts of stuff in there. So the one thing that you'll see here is pricing. This is the differentiator between True Stock and, like I said, the big stock agencies. A lot of the companies that are buying images from True Stock are corporates and government agencies, and as you'll see, the prices are good. They actually reflect what images should be worth. And obviously we only get a portion of this. I think it's 50-50, or I can't remember what their splits are. But as you'll see, you know, the prices are actually decent. So when you sell an image, you're not getting 20 cents. You're actually getting a few dollars. And True Stock has been great to me. I've been a contributor since it started, and I've made a good amount of money out of it. But I also exclusively do it with them. I don't list my images anywhere else. And it's for that reason, because I like to support local, and that's what I'm all about. So basically my advice when it comes to stock images, if there is a smaller local stock image agency, that's who you want to go with, even if it has to be exclusive. Like I said, you might make a couple of dollars out of the big ones if you've got some images, but they've diluted it so much to the point that you're basically giving your images away. If an image is selling to a big corporate company and they're putting it on a billboard, you should be paid accordingly for that. You know, it is just wrong for them to be able to buy some amazing photo that you've put a lot of effort and time into and put it on a billboard, and what do you get? 50 cents, $1? Don't do that to your dignity. You know, you have more value as a photographer, and that's the part that annoys me, and that's why I exclusively use True Stock for my images. Obviously, it's a New Zealand-based agency, so if you're in another country, look around, see what you can find. And if you can find a local agency, check them out and look at their prices, because that's, you know, that's your dignity right there, is if your images are going to be put up somewhere and used for a company to make money, it only seems fair that you make some money too, you know, more than a couple of dollars or 50, you know, whatever. The prices on those big stock agency sites are ridiculous. That's why I want to make this video, because like I said, you've got to make your own choices. If you want to make a few bucks and just feel ripped off when you see your image on the front of a magazine that some agency has sold a huge company for 20 cents, that's on you. But personally for me, it's not worth it. And that's why I only do it through that avenue, through True Stock. So for everybody asking my opinion on stock images, that's it. It's great if you do it through the right avenue. All the big online stock agencies have ruined that industry for photographers by racing to the bottom, basically, and essentially giving people's work away for nothing. So yeah, that's my opinion. Don't sign up with the big names. You might get lucky and make some money, but it's all based on quantity, not quality. You want the other way around. You want the quality over the quantity. The customers who are willing to pay good money for good images, which then reflects on you and the agency that you're working with making money. So that's my 2 cents on stock images and selling them. I hope that helps, and hopefully if you're getting into that world, you can find a local agency that, like I said, is priced correctly for what you're worth. But yeah, that's my opinion on the matter. All right, quick little plug at the end of the video. Got some merch. I'll put it up here. I've also set up memberships on that site, which you can jump on and support. If you want to support, grab some merch. Be highly appreciated. You know, anything to support making more of these videos and getting this information from my brain to yours. But yeah, go out and find yourself a stock photo agency that isn't going to shaft you, basically. And then it's worthwhile. And it's passive income. And it just comes flowing in every month. And it's awesome. So if you can do it, do it. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all of you.